Hello and welcome to our next video. I've always been a bit of a shed head. I guess I'm one of those guys that just likes sheds. And with this one, I'm forced to building it small. That's all that they will allow me to build. So I'm kind of coming to terms with it now. I'm going to build this modern looking, minimalist, and with certain techniques that are old and some of them that are new. This is the underside of the OSB board for the floor, and I'm giving it, I'll give it 2 coats. It's like a rubberized paint that they use here for roofs. So it'll give it that extra little bit of protection against the humidity that might be underneath the shed. As I had said, I will elevate the floor of the shed, which will elevate the entire shed, and it will allow for airflow, and the airflow should remove humidity as well, and this will give it that extra little bit of punch. So the painting of the underpart of the floor is done. I've given them 3 coats and I'm very happy with them, so that job is done. This is the frame for the roof of the shed, and I've put in cross bracing. I've squared it. And I've also put in this stock here on both sides of the frame. I'm going to put a solar panel system on the top of this. So if you can imagine it at the moment, so what I will do is, so I will drill through this here, through the 2 pieces of stock, with a bolting system here that will pivot the solar panels. And then over here, I'll do the same thing. I'll put a brace from here up. Now, the theory at the moment is I will work that bracing system similar to what you would have in a deck chair or in a lounger. And this, I'm manufacturing this in here, but I'm also going to take it apart. So I have everything numbered, and once I take it apart, everything will be ready to go and should fit together quite nicely. I'm using this to make a gutter, and there's a couple of details that I just wanted to go through just to let you see how I'm doing it. The gutter's not, this length is not long enough, so I have joined them together here. I've also fixed it on the inner part of the gutter, and then I'm kind of aware that this could, you probably see it better this way, this could bend out with the weight of the water. I've come up with this idea to take a long screw and to drill it through and have it sort of like that, that way will prevent it a lot more from pulling down. So moving on with the roof section, I have completed it to this stage. This is a membrane. It's very good. I think it's very good. It allows water to come out, but it won't allow water to go through it this way. So it's fairly well done. It keeps the humidity out of the inside of the shed and therefore keeps mold and everything away. This is for the sheeting. The sheeting will go on the top of this and it will be screwed down through it, and this will give then a small little bit of a gap for the whole thing to breathe. It will be corrugated, so it will be able to breathe or vent from the bottom up through and out the top, because hot air, the hot air will rise, a little bit of a draft will get through and everything should be good. I also have everything numbered so that when I do bring it over, I can assemble it then with some ease or some comfort. It's because of the site terrain that I have to do this. I really feel that I have no other choice. All of my tools and everything are here, so it's the better option. I've marked where the sheeting has to go to overlap each other to be in the right spot. I've also popped in a small screw here with a washer on it, and I've pre-drilled all of these holes. I've pre-drilled them so that when I'm putting in the self-tapping screw, I have a hole there to start the screw off with, because what I would be afraid of is that when you're trying to do it, sometimes it can slip, and I don't want to make a hole through this with the screwdriver or with the actual screw itself. So I've pre-drilled those, and they should be good. Again, everything is marked and ready to go. I just wanted to take a couple of moments to explain to you what I'm going to do with this opening. It's 1.6 meters wide, so I'm going to make 2 door frames, and the 2 frames will be 800 a piece, so they will be hinged here in the center and hinged here on this side. That way, this door here will be the initial one that you can open or close from the center. The 2 of them can then open together like this, but this one will be able to go back this way. So if you can imagine, this door will close first, bolt in, and this one close over here. Here I'm going to get a very big heavy steel kind of a really old look bolt that will bolt into the ground when it's here, and that I can turn the handle of it back here and have one locking mechanism here. I'll put more in it, but that will be the initial first one. This bolt then will have many functions. I'm trying to get the shed to work hard for us. As the doors can open this way, I want this to be able to open in several different positions, like even that way, like that way, and be able to bolt it to the ground there. That if you want these 2 to open, you can have it that way, bolt it again there, that it'll come back this way 90 degrees and bolt it here. Now this is where it can get interesting. Here is where I'm planning on putting in the shower. So from here, 1.6 meters, this door will come back to here. So the whole thing will turn around, and this will be the outside of it. This will then give a little bit of privacy to the shower suite. I'm going to put the door facing from the very top here, where the roof meets this, down to the very bottom here, wherever the elevation is going to be for the rest of the siding for here. But I'm going to do a technique on this face here. It's a very, very ancient old method of preserving wood from Japan called yakashugi. Now, it's like shushugi-ban, but yakashugi is the original method that the Japanese used hundreds of years ago to preserve wood using fire. So I'm going to set the wood on fire in the old-fashioned technique to honor that, basically, and I think it would be a cool thing to do. I want to go for the crocodile, they call it crocodile skin look, where it's really charred. This really preserves the wood for a long, long time. Insects won't go near it. it becomes much more fire resistant because the face of it has been burnt where the oils have evaporated out of it. It just preserves it from rot, and I think it looks totally cool. So it will be black, black, black. I've just started on the 2 doors, and I just wanted to show you this. I use this technique from time to time where I would take a long piece of stock and I would cut 2 45s at it, and I would just barely score the end of it there. And then you can bring it together and it fits in very nice, very neat. This is the bottom of the door, and then there's 2 small little holes there and there. So any moisture, any humidity, any rain or whatever, I'm not planning on it getting in there, but if it does, it will come out of these 2 little holes via this channel.